Will Jon Snow ever find out who his mother and father are? Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the final episode of Game of Thrones Season 6. We've learned in episode 10 of Game of Thrones who the mother and father of Jon Snow are. For those unfamiliar with the big R+L=J theory that circulated for ages, let me explain real quick. Rheagar Targaryen fell in love with Lyanna Stark before Robert became king of Westeros. It's safe to assume they ran away together, and these events eventually led to the entire North marching down on King's Landing. King Robert was supposed to marry Lyanna, but in the books, we learned Lyanna wasn't best pleased with this. Lyanna didn't like Robert's philandering ways. Lyanna got pregnant of Rhaegar, and when she gave birth, Ned walked in. Lyanna died after this, but first, she made Ned promise something. Promise me, Ned. Promise me you will not tell whose baby this is. Robert will kill him. Promise me, Ned. During and after the sack of King's Landing, there was a Targaryen slaughter. Men, women and children bearing the Targaryen name got killed. This happened because Robert thought his beloved died because of the doing of Rhaegar, a Targaryen. Now this explains why Lyanna didn't want the world to know that Jon Snow is actually Jon Targaryen. Robert would have killed him as soon as this news reached his ears. So will Jon Snow ever learn of all of this? The short answer is yes. There's two people alive right now in the TV show who know who the father and mother are. One of them is quite obvious, it's Bran. The other one has appeared in the TV series and also in the books. Remember the man stabbing Sir Arthur Dayne, the badass dual-wielding knight in the back? That man was Howland Reed. He's Jojen and Amira's father. As far as we know, he is still alive and he was there at the Tower of Joy. Now let's see what is the most likely. Unfortunately, we are running close to the end of Game of Thrones. We've seen in the latest episode they are wrapping up stories quite quickly. Currently, Westeros is divided into three parties. We have the king in the north, Jon Snow. We have Cersei, the new Mad Queen. We are doing a video on her later this week. And lastly, we have Dany, who united the Dornish and the Reach. So it's a nice north, middle, south divide now. Where I'm going with this is, it's wrapping up quickly. We will see Dany landing in the south, marching north and finally uniting with Jon Snow to fight the White Walkers. And all of this can be done in 2 seasons, so reintroducing a character like Howland Reed is not very likely, just for the sole purpose to spill the beans on Jon Snow's parentage. What is more likely, that Bran will make his way south of the wall, towards Winterfell, where he will meet up with Jon and Sansa. He will most likely tell about his visions. Either way, this will be the start of something big. The North are a folk of tradition. Rallying behind the Snow is one thing, even though he has Stark blood in him. But the North rallying behind the Targaryen is going to be the start of this divide. We will make another video where this could potentially lead to later this week as well. So long story short, will Jon Snow ever find out who his parents are? Yeah, and it's not going to be pretty. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Also, click the eye in the sky for our Lore of Ice and Fire series for more off-book and off-series Game of Thrones content. And now, our 1-year watch begins.